You're supposed to comb your beard before you come on the show.
Oh, I'm on now?
Yes, you are on. We are on.
My bad, Bruce.
Morning, folks. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. As my guest today, you may know him. He's Bob Walker, former mayoral candidate.
Yes, I was.
For Fairfield, Illinois. We may talk about that. We may talk about we're going to talk about a wide variety of subjects in the widely varied life of Bob Walker. Bob, thanks very much for coming up. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Bruce.
We'll talk to you in just a minute. What's going on in the area? See, now look, I've taken you off the camera, so you can go ahead and do whatever you
get
want.
my Ohio State jacket in there somehow.
Oh, we're not going to get the Ohio State. We'll get it in there later. We'll get the Ohio State in later. This is Wednesday, February 6th. Thanks so much for tuning in. What's going on in the community here? Some community events here for this Wednesday. Well, down in Fairfield, the Wayne and Edwards County Soil District, Soil and Water I might need to...
Conservation,
thank you. The Wayne and Edwards Counties Soil and Water Conservation Districts will be hosting a cover crop coffee shop today starting at 8:30. The coffee shop will be at the Bob Boyles Hall, and that's going to be on the campus of Frontier Community College. Coffee and donuts are going to be served free of charge. So if you're watching us right now, you might still be able to make it down there. Doc Roser will be along to talk about the benefits of cover crops, available funding, as well as to answer any questions that you may have. Also going on down in Fairfield today, at the Fairfield Memorial Hospital. They had a CPR class yesterday. They got another CPR class today. This one will be at 9:30. You can pre-register. Give them a call at 847-8367. I think they're doing this all week long. I believe they have different classes going on all week. Also, here in Flora, closer to Flora today, Heritage Woods going to have a exercise this morning, 10 a.m. exercise, and then it's trivia time at 2 o'clock today at Heritage Woods here in Flora. And then tonight, it is Wednesday night. It's church night, so you've got the Mennonite Cottage meeting tonight. That'll be at Heritage Woods. What's on Wabash? Bob, do you watch a whole lot of television anymore, or you just mainly go to sports?
Sports.
That's all you're watching on TV?
I watch several different programs. I like the 48-hour program.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the investigations thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's a...
Do they ever catch the guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they catch a lot of them. Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. I'm still interested in that kind of stuff, because I still think we have a lot of social issues in our great country that need fixing.
Here he goes. I've given him a soapbox.
Yeah, he has to. He really
We'll get to all that in a little bit, but
okay.
Since you're talking about the investigation, I didn't realize that it worked out. I would think it'd be the scariest thing in the world to be in a town and see the 48 hours investigation truck drive into town because you know something bad's about to happen.
Something bad has happened. Something bad has already happened.
Oh, it's already happened,
yeah.
And then they bring it in. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know how that worked. What's on television tonight? I don't have any Investigation 48. We do have a bunch of basketball, bunch of hockey tonight. Of course, college basketball season now in not quite down the stretch, but making the turn to come down the home stretch. Getting ready. It is Notre Dame at Miami tonight on ESPN2 doubleheader on ESPN2. That is channel 638. That's at 6 o'clock. That'll be followed up by LSU at Mississippi State at 8. Change the channel, go to Fox Sports 1, 610. That's channel 610 here on the fiber. Georgetown at Providence, followed by Cal at Oregon. So you get a little taste of the Big East and then a taste of the Pac-12. Pac-12 not a very good league this year. Big Ten Network, doubleheader on the Big Ten Network tonight. 6 o'clock, Maryland is at Nebraska. That is on the channel 600, channel 600, the Big Ten Network. That'll be followed by number 19, Wisconsin, on the road at Minnesota. So a couple of ranked teams in the Big Ten going at it. SEC Network also has a doubleheader tonight. Texas A&M is at Ole Miss. That's at 6 o'clock. And the SEC network is channel 639. That'll be followed up by Georgia at Alabama. You want more basketball? A couple of triple headers on tap for you. CBS Sports Network has a triple header starting at 5 o'clock. That's channel 628. And also tonight on ESPNU, channel 642, they've got 3 basketball games, as they've got Rhode Island Davidson, Oklahoma State TCU, UNLV at Boise State. All kinds of basketball up there on the top part of the dial. NHL tonight, Boston Bruins are at the New York Rangers. That is on at 7 o'clock on NBC Sports Network. That's channel 216. And finally, in the NBA tonight, good stuff. Chicago Bulls at home. They got the New Orleans Pelicans coming in tonight to a Chicago Stadium, the United Center. That's channel 643. Or what's the doubleheader? On ESPN tonight, channel 601. The Washington Wizards take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Get to see Giannis Antetokounmpo. Can you say Giannis Antetokounmpo?
No.
You're not even going to try to.
And I don't even know how them parents
say the Greek freak.
Like I don't even know how them parents name them kids.
Well, like he's Greek. He's Greek.
Why can't you be Bob or Bruce? Yeah.
Always the social helper right there. There you go. And finally tonight, the doubleheader, second hand. It's Spurs at the Warriors. Golden State at home tonight. See if Steph Curry can score 40. All this coming up on Wabash Catch TV, on Wabash TV tonight. Wabash Catch TV, Bob Walker is here. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things. He is a prison guard. He is a power lifter. He is a CB.
Yeah.
He is a
world champion 2 times.
World champion. And we're going to come back and talk about all that stuff when we return. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV, channel 3 over in Salem, channel 100 or 25 here in Flora, and channel 100 all points thereabouts. Stick around. We'll be back right after these. Thanks.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area, with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your #1 choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your #1 choice in healthcare.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do.
Welcome back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guest is Bob Walker, and we're talking about all kinds of different things. Here, we're going to talk about all kinds of different things. Bob, thank you so much for coming up.
Bruce, my pleasure.
All right, before we get into talking to Bob, let's give a little bit of my history with Bob Walker. You moved to Illinois when?
About 78.
And you worked in the oil patch.
Mm-hmm.
Oil patch for your tool pusher.
About 10 years.
10 years?
Yep.
Did you continue to work out there after you broke your wrist?
Yeah, I sure
didn't
did.
know if you were able to do that.
In a cast like this here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of tough, doesn't it?
Real tough.
Well, anyway, Bob, back in high school, in where'd you go to? Okay, I may as well show it off now. There's the cameras over there.
Oh.
Bob's from Ohio. Bob, where are you from in Ohio?
Cambridge, Ohio.
Cambridge, Ohio. So at Cambridge, Ohio, you played football.
I did.
Any good at it?
I was the first freshman varsity starter for Cambridge Bobcats.
Wow.
Started offensive center.
In Ohio, that's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah.
Where is Cambridge?
It's just east of Columbus, about 80 miles.
Okay. All right. So then wrestling season came around. You kind of were better at wrestling than football.
A lot better. Yeah.
Why do you think so?
I was too slow.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't because you were actually good at wrestling. It's because you were just not as good as you like to be at football.
Well, at wrestling, I was quick enough to be quick on the mat. But at football, I was not quick enough to be fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't, because what we played was the Woody Hayes 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the offensive center pulled.
Oh, you played center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really quick enough to get to the tackle spot before the halfback got there.
That's bad.
That's not good.
That's a bad thing.
It's like he's blocking for me.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
If he's got the ball, what good is that?
It's not. And so I didn't get very many offers. The one thing that I really remember was I got a letter from Joe Paterno, Coach Paterno.
No kidding.
To go visit Penn State. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. For football.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
even though you were a much better wrestler, you still got football here and there.
Right.
Did you go?
No. What happened was I took one of my wrestling tours to a place called Obe, Ohio.
Okay.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Okay.
In Obe, Ohio. And he was touting me for wrestling.
Yeah.
And I had just come off of a tournament, and I had stitches in this eye. Still about 8 stitches in this eye where I got headbutted. And Coach McCormick said he just wanted to see me move on the mat a little bit. So he put me out there with his 190-pounder. I wrestled in the 75-pound class. And he put me out there with the 190-pounder, his guy.
Yeah, the college guy.
Yeah, and he told me, he said, now, I just want to see you move with this guy. This guy's pretty good on his feet. He likes to take people down. Well, in my career, I'd only been taken to the mat 2 times. In 4 years.
This was after your senior year.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, okay, I can do takedowns. You know, me and you've done takedowns.
We've done takedowns. Yes, we have.
And
it's been a few years.
It's been a couple. I don't know that I could take him down now or not.
I don't know. I got to tell you, you probably just have to tip me.
Or we might both fall if we tip very far.
That's right.
But anyway, I went out there with this 190-pounder, and he was pretty lanky, tall, lanky guy, long arms, where he could reach real good. The first time he reached, and you remember this, where I post your wrist and pull you?
Sure.
It worked perfect.
Yeah.
I just, as soon as he reached for my ankle, I picked his wrist, and I had him on his back just like that.
Yeah.
Well, this happened about 3 or 4 times, and Coach McCormick called into it. He said, you're going to be my 190 next year.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what he told me. Yeah.
Then you didn't go.
Uncle Sam.
Well, Uncle Sam showed up.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so this all gets to we bring all this up to talk about when Bob came to Illinois. You started wanting to work out.
Yeah.
And you wanted to help kids in the area, right?
During the rainy period where they don't allow the rigs on the road,
At least they still don't allow the rigs on.
No.
Okay.
When they post them roads for weight limits, we can't move the rig. So I decided to go up to the school one day, and you guys were having practice in the cafeteria.
That's right.
And when I walked in there, Rick Reinhardt was the head coach. He was sitting on one of the cafeteria
Hall of Famer,
tables.
Rick Reinhardt.
Yeah, he was sitting on one of the tables. And Rick Book, who's long left us, bless his soul, he had a lot of good intentions for you guys.
Yeah, they both
really
did.
Yeah. And Rick was the JV coach or the assistant coach, and neither one of them knew anything about wrestling.
They were trying.
They were trying. They did try. And I went up and talked to Rick for a minute, and I just flat told him, I said, look, I'm not the best wrestler that has ever stepped on this mat, but I can help these guys. He said, have at it.
And you did.
And we did. And we had a great time.
We had a good time. All right, so that establishes. I worked out with Bob for 2 or 3, 4 years back in.
But that's not telling the whole story about Bruce's dedication.
No, we're not telling. This is the Bob Walker show.
Yeah, but I feel so proud of what you did.
Look.
And I want to just say this.
All right, yeah, just say something very quickly, and we'll.
Bruce just happened to be in back of maybe
tremendously untalented,
but heart and smart. That makes a lot. But he was in back of maybe one of the best athletes that has come through this area in a long time, in Vince Fisher.
Probably so.
This kid could do everything. I mean,
he could do it all.
He could do it all, and he was willing to work.
And he did.
And he did. Do it.
He did do it all.
And he did what he wanted to do. And I'd be remorse if I didn't mention his father, Ray, who was also a very good wrestler. He competed in the Big Ten.
Oh, I didn't realize he.
Yes, he did.
I didn't realize he played. I knew he played football. I didn't realize
he played football and wrestled. But anyway, Bruce followed Vince all the way through until Vince done phenomenal things in the heavyweight division. And he come to the gym one day, which is at Lakeview at that time.
Yeah.
And he told me he wanted to be a state champion.
Vince did?
You did.
I did?
You did. And
I was clearly
from that point on, he was dedicated. I used to follow you around on my motorcycle.
I know it. Yeah, you did. I don't remember saying that.
You
I
did
really
say that.
No, I don't remember ever saying that.
And I said, okay, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do.
We got a lot of work to do.
But this guy here does never give himself enough credit because he dedicated himself to that sport.
Well, anyway, the reason I'm bringing all that up is,
and it makes me feel good.
Well, I'm glad it does. I'm glad it does. You were in Fairfield. You became a power lifter and started working with kids.
Yes.
I'm getting through this to get to your powerlifting career.
Okay.
All right. Because then we're going to get to we'll get to the prison garden stuff too.
Okay.
Because I think that's fascinating.
It is.
A lot of people don't. I mean, people just don't realize what prison guards see every day.
Every day.
It's like it can be a war zone.
It is a war zone. In your maximum security penitentiaries and Lawrenceville, it's a war zone.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Well, we're talking about this because we're going to get. You've been a world champion powerlifter
2 times.
You started getting into this kind of stuff from
wrestling
a young age.
Mm-hmm.
What age group? We'll get to the details here in a second. But what age group were you your powerlifting world champ?
My last one, I was in the 50 to 55.
All right, well, we'll get to all this here in just a minute, folks. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. My guest is Bob Walker. Now that we've established your bona fides, Bob, we'll establish all the rest of it, okay?
I got credentials.
He's got credentials.
Yeah.
Even if he is wearing an Ohio State Buckeye shirt. We'll be right back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Back after these.
When you build with Morton Buildings, you build something that lasts. And now you can build for less during Building Value Days. If you're dreaming of a personal storage building, horse barn, farm storage, home, office, insulated workshop, or even a commercial facility, take advantage of our discounted pricing on new buildings now through February 28, 2019. So don't delay. Visit mortonbuildings.com for more information.
It's my choice. It's my choice. It's my choice.
So many of our county residents have treatment or surgeries done at larger hospitals. What they don't always realize is that they have a choice to select where they can have physical therapy or any number of post-operative treatments and follow-ups. Clay County Hospital is your choice. Talk with your specialist, surgeon, or primary care provider and let them know that you want to stay close to family, friends, and most importantly, home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details. At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Welcome back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guest today is Bob Walker. He is, retired?
He is retired.
When we say, when people describe you, are you a retired prison supervisor? Are you a retired power lifter? Are you a retired... what is Bob Walker?
Well, I'm not retired powerlifting because I still have goals.
You still do?
Oh, yeah.
What are your goals now?
I still... and It may be getting further away from me than I think, but I still have ambitions to try to bench out 700 pounds one time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
It's like half a car or something like that.
I still work hard for 3 or 4 days a week.
Or is your no? I mean, I hate to be really one of those bros who say, "Hey, what you bench?" or something like that. But are you moving in that direction?
Oh yeah. I gauge a lot. I don't really work heavy on the bench. I gauge a lot of where I'm at by my tricep and shoulder strength.
Really?
Yeah. So as my tricep and shoulder exercises start going up, I know my bench is going up.
Which one's the tricep bench? I know that's which one tricep is, but which one's is it? The incline, the good one on that one, or I don't remember?
Well,
it's been a long time since I lifted.
And training has changed so much with the bands and the chains and the
it's all fitness now.
Yeah. And fitness is where it's at, you know. I was told a long time ago, is from some very good lifters, that you need to pay more attention to your cardiovascular.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, when I started changing my program to a little more cardio, I got stronger.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because you're getting more
oxygen, more blood.
Cells?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's recuperating quicker.
Huh.
Yeah. So little did I know, all the years I'd done it, I was sort of going backwards a little bit, you know, without the cardio.
You weren't recovering.
I wasn't recovering the way I should have been.
I'll be darned. Right. Let's talk a little bit about helping out with the Special Olympics.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about. Let me bring up this picture. Tell me about some of these people. That's our good friend Charlie, isn't it?
That's our good friend Charlie right there in the middle of us. That's Bob, my assistant coach, and forgive me, Bob, I forgot your last name.
Well, it's been a while. How old is this picture?
Oh, wow, it's
because Charlie's no longer with us.
Charlie's passed.
Where was this taken?
This was taken in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
At the World Games.
Right.
And there's a story about this guy down here in the bottom with these glasses on, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian was a fairly good little bench presser, but he freaked out whenever you laid him down on his back, and he looked up.
So that would affect your ability to be a bench presser.
Oh, yeah. So one day I was just messing around, and he was freaking out a little bit, and I just put my hands over his eyes, and he was fine.
No kidding.
He was fine. It didn't bother him a bit. So we got him a little towel made up, had his name on a little towel and stuff, and we went to lifting meets. We just laid that towel across his eyes, and he just benched like there was nothing wrong with him.
How much would he? Charlie probably about benching 150 pounds or something.
Charlie?
Yeah.
He wasn't a very good bench presser. He was a deadlifter.
I'm sorry, I was thinking Brian.
Yeah, I think Brian benched right around there, 140, 150 pounds.
Let's talk about Charlie, because I know a lot of folks. I love Charlie. Charlie was a wonderful guy.
Charlie Bailey.
Yeah. And tell me about Charlie Bailey. He was a world champion too.
Charlie was a world champion in the deadlift. Yes, and. The thing that, and I was talking to Bruce earlier, the thing that makes Charlie so rare, he had polio as a young kid.
Right.
And he had a big metal brace on his leg, and he would just, basically, he deadlifted off of one leg.
He didn't use both legs for pushing.
No, one. And he just centered that bar up over top of that good leg, and up he went. And it was just amazing to sit and watch him. It was amazing to get to coach him. As I look back on that kind of stuff, that was a part of my life that I was really receiving some gifts.
Yeah.
All the kids that wrestled for us, and my weightlifting kids. I had some Andrew Wolf, who's now a doctor. You know Andrew?
Sure.
He was a teenage champion in the deadlift. In the 198 pound, he pulled 570 pounds off the floor as a high schooler.
That's pretty good.
That's real good. And my buddy up here in Florida, Smitty, he hated me for having all this talent coming through.
It's because Smitty's gym continued. Your gym closed.
I sold mine to Ed.
You sold, to speaking of Dear Departed.
Dear Departed, one of my all-time guys,
Yeah, but so how did you get involved with the Charlie there is mentally handicapped.
Ed and Nancy Ortiz.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, that's not true either. Renee, my wife, she was a hab aide out there.
Okay.
At the house on the hill. And Ed and Nancy asked me if I'd be interested. Ed was the bank president.
Right.
And Nancy was always big in Special Olympics.
And this was in Dieball House, right?
This is in Dieball.
Right. Chris was there.
Chris was there. Yeah. And they asked me if I'd be interested in just taking some of these guys in a couple days a week, and I said, oh yeah, I didn't know anything about it. It
ended up being real rewarding.
It ended up being one of the most rewarding things I ever done in my life.
Oh, that's outstanding. Yeah. That's really cool. Who do you think was the most dedicated lifter you ever worked with?
Ed Clark. Do
you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, that came out like that.
There wasn't anybody even close to him.
Really?
No. He lived it, breathed it, and died with it. Ironic. I'll tell you an ironic story about Ed. You know him. You went to school with him and everything. Terrible wrestler.
Yes. He would admit it.
And he would admit it. He was a weightlifter. He wasn't a wrestler. He just wrestled because I wanted him to.
Yeah.
And but Ed, I had just got off of the rig. I just pulled a double shift, midnight and day shift.
Right. So it's 16 hours in a row.
16 hours. Just laid down in the bed, got a shower and laid down in the bed, and I heard somebody knocking on the front door. Oh, man, if I just lay here, they'll go away. Well, they didn't. They knock. So I got up and pulled the blind on the bedroom window open where I could see who it was, and there's this little redheaded kid wearing wire rimmed glasses, and he seen me at the window, and he come over and started knocking on the window. I said, all right. I said, Ed, I went to the front door. I said, if you ever knock on my front window again, I'm going to break your arm. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
And he said, I just wanted to get my bench in. You know what?
I want to get his workout in.
You know what? I respect that.
Sure.
I said, come on, let me get you worked out and get you going. Well, 2 days before he passed, he had just released himself from the hospital.
Yeah, I was going to say, he walked out of the hospital.
He walked out of the hospital. He was better. 2 days before he eventually went back into the hospital and passed, you know what he did?
No.
Got a bench workout in.
That guy. That's something else.
So somewhere, Bruce, in heaven, there's a weight room, and Ed's in there doing a bench workout.
All right.
Now, as we speak. I believe that.
All right, I got to ask before I finish this segment, how close, since you talked about getting to 700 pounds, is it, do you legitimately have a chance to get there?
No.
Well, at least you have goals.
I do have goals. I think at this point in my life, I'll be 66 in May, like I talked to you earlier about. I think at this point in my life, if I can get back around the 600 mark.
Yeah, where are you now?
I think I'm somewhere in the early fives.
You see, that's the thing. Well, how often do you max? I mean, you never do.
I don't. I told you I judge it by my shoulder and tricep strength.
Yeah.
So I think I'm somewhere right now in my early 500s. I've gone up to as far as 335 and done 7 reps with 335. So
that's pretty good.
It's growing.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all.
It's just the people that say, you're too old to do that. Don't you think you ought to stop that?
Now, I'm assuming that would motivate you incredibly.
And you know it does.
Yeah.
You know it does.
Yeah.
I'm too old for what?
Yeah.
How are you too old? If the only way you're too old is if they already got you in a box.
You ain't getting any. Yeah. The only way you're too old is if you ain't getting any older.
If I ain't getting any older.
You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. This is Bob Walker. We're going to talk about prison stories. So shield your ears, maybe. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll be right back after these. Do stick around.
Not appropriate for children.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
When you build with Morton Buildings, you build something that lasts. And now you can build for less during Building Value Days. If you're dreaming of a personal storage building, horse barn, farm storage, home, office, insulated workshop, or even a commercial facility, take advantage of our discounted pricing on new buildings now through February 28, 2019. So don't delay. Visit mortonbuildings.com for more information.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
It's a good way to get them to quit you.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guest is Bob Walker, former prison guard supervisor. How many?
Warden.
Warden. You were a warden.
Yeah.
How many folks did you have under you?
I had.
And this was you started at.
I started at Menard. I made chief security major at Menard. There I had about 800 staff and about 4,000 inmates under me.
Okay. When did you start?
I started in 1994.
1994. So you retired 2012?
Yep.
Okay. So 18 years at it. What was was it just a tremendous culture shock where you have some training to get in to be a prison correction? There's no training? There wasn't?
No.
None?
They give you a 6-week training
at the
cycle.
time. Do they still do it like this?
Yeah, they still do it. And it's worthless.
Really?
Yeah. It's basically just something that gets the paperwork finished and gets you to where you can go to a prison.
Okay. Then hand you your weapon and your club or something, right?
No weapons and no clubs.
No weapons, no clubs?
No. Only time you get a weapon is if you're in a gun tower.
Oh, I see.
And there's 23 of them at Menard.
Okay. And that would be probably to make sure that nobody pulls the weapon off of you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the only thing you get is a radio and a set of keys.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're basically on your own.
On your own. With your brothers in there with you.
But as a position of authority.
Yeah. And, it is, but the main thing in that prison system is, and you'll hear it a million times, is respect.
Really?
Respect. Inmates respect this out of staff, and staff should learn to respect this out of inmates. And I told you before, I really truly believe, you hear a lot of people talking about prison reform,
right?
And it's a big issue right now with the Kardashians and all these people like that. And prison reform in the state of Illinois is needed. Our prisons are overcrowded. We're not doing the right things to the people that's in them prisons. And I think this, when you have young kids coming in and following their uncles and their cousins and their brothers and their dads in a lot of cases, they're not as scared of our prison system.
Oh, I see.
There's no deterrent for them not to commit crime, and come right back, because we have started cutting their time because of the overcrowdedness. So, and depending on what portion of the state you commit your crime in is how serious of a
let's get a little bit more specific, though.
Okay.
I want to hear the story about the shock, the culture shock of going into prison. What maybe you said there was an incident 4 months in that really brought it home.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, basically, I come from Fairfield, Illinois.
Okay.
And when I first stepped foot inside the West Cell House, which was the most aggressive cell house at Menard Correctional Center, which is known as the state institution for Illinois,
right?
The state prison,
right?
When I first stepped in there, I had absolutely no idea this was how a prison was. I mean, it was just a culture shock. not even close to being.
It's too soft.
It's too soft.
Yeah.
You actually just think, oh my God. I don't know how many times I thought about going back to Walker's Gym and thinking, I really don't need this job. I have a job, But it was something about the adrenaline rush.
Really?
To me, it was something about every time you walk in there and you hear that door clang, you get adrenaline rush.
No kidding.
So we're letting this yard line out, and I'd seen them do this before. The GDs owned 8 Gary and part of 6.
Tell me what the GDs are.
The Gangster Disciples.
Gangster Disciples.
And I had seen them come down from 8 Gary and pick their GD buddies up from 6 Gary.
So you're talking about lines of prisoners coming down and picking up their friends as they're coming down.
From 8 Gary down to 2 Gary.
Okay.
And they're doing the GD
level
chant.
Down to 2nd level.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they have their own chant.
Oh, absolutely. Every one of them do.
See, I would think that would probably be a little unnerving as well.
It is until you get used to it.
Okay.
Now, the first couple times it is unnerving.
Yeah.
And my job this day was to have the outside door, to let them go out. And
out into the yard.
Out into wherever they're headed.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to have passes, which they don't. They didn't then. And you're supposed to write down and log everybody in and out that's coming in and out. Well, the GD chief, Doug King, was coming down with the yard line this day.
This time.
So it just so happened. And we get all bunched up down there on the flag. And the first thing I noticed when I really thought I was in trouble was I seen one guy go over by the door that went down on 2 Gary, and he shut it.
Oh, that probably didn't make you feel good.
That didn't make me feel good. That was my first red flag, and I started looking around, and there's probably 18 or 20 of these guys standing around me right now.
And you're the only guard?
Me and another guard.
Me and you and another.
The sergeant's locked up in the cage right in back of us.
All right.
The second issue was another guy come over and stood right beside me on the door going outside and just stood there, posted up. And I thought, this is not good at all. Well, there was a big GD name, and they called him Cash. And me and him had already had a couple little verbal skirmishes, and I thought I could whip him anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of have to have that attitude, don't you?
I knew I could whip him.
Yeah.
He was a big guy, but I just knew I could whip him. And so he starts walking back and forth, and he's got these leather gloves on, and he's doing this. And I thought, you know what? This is and the sergeant.
We're in a bad spot.
Yeah, I know I was. And the sergeant's in back of us saying, "Okay, just calm down. Everything's gonna be all right. Just calm down."
He's talking to you, or he's talking to
me and the officer.
Okay.
Me and the other officer. The other officer had less time than I did.
Oh, okay.
But all of a sudden, out of my peripheral vision, I caught a flash. Went like this here, and I went, "Well, I'm not just going to turn my head and look." So I just sort of started sneaking around, and here's Big Bubba standing out there. My TAC commander.
Oh, okay.
We have a full squad of TAC dressed out right outside the door.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this ain't going to be so bad. Well, I saw the guy named Tom was standing right beside me. I saw him messing with his waistband of his. So I'm figuring he's got a knife.
Looking for a shiv or something.
I figure he's just getting it ready in case he's got. And I'm thinking, then a thought goes through my mind, if this breaks down, I could grab him fast enough where I could get that knife from him. I might make it out of here.
So you're thinking of entirely different alternatives.
Now I am.
Yeah.
Because I got backup right here.
Yeah.
And
is the TAC commander in the room?
He's standing around the corner of the cell house.
Okay.
But he gave me the thumbs up, letting me know.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good to play.
He could see that we're
ready
an issue
to play.
coming up. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they got extra guns up here above us on the catwalks. So you got 4 rifles pointing down at you. And anybody that can tell you they don't get scared during that is lying to you.
Yeah.
I was scared to death.
Sure.
But the more he did this, the madder I got. And finally I told him, I said, hey, big boy, I said, why don't me and you just kick this off right now? I'm sick of standing here watching you. He said, in good time, Walker, in good time. I said, let's do it right now.
Why wait?
Why wait? Well, all of a sudden, there's a dividing door between the odds and the even cell house.
Okay.
The warden, the assistant warden, the major, and all of them walks right in. They say something to the sergeant. we have officers got caught up on the upper galleries.
Yeah.
They went down on 8 gallery. The cell house chief had been locked up on the 3 to 11 shift, and they wanted him out.
Oh,
So
really?
They sent somebody up there, let him out. He come down. They all went to the yard, and I'm sitting there like, okay. Warden Page, the very first thing come out of his mouth, and I respect him to this day for what he done. He said, anybody need a cold beer? I just might. He said, "Hey, anybody need to go home? Is everybody all right? You need to talk to anybody? Everybody okay?" I said, "I might take you up on the cold beer." He said, "You meet me at," there was a beer joint up in Chester called Molly's Moon.
Yeah.
And that's where all the prison guards went. He said, "You meet me up at Molly's tonight and I'll buy you all the beer you want." And he did.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he did.
So how long, from start to finish, how long did this go?
It felt like a week, and it was probably only a matter of a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
And the whole time the dude was over there like,
cash. That's what he did.
they were waiting,
He had a great big dollar sign tattooed
So
on his neck.
but you didn't know what they were wanting.
I didn't have any clue.
All they were wanting was one of their friends released
The
from
cell house chief. Doug King was the institutional chief of the GDs. He was as high as you could be.
And his cell house chief was one of his lieutenants, I guess.
Yeah.
How many gangs? How many people are? Is everybody in prison in a gang? Do you have to? If you go to prison, do you have to get into a gang? Or
If you don't, you have a couple options. You could fight all the time. You could go to PC. Basically, you have to abide by their rules anyway.
What's PC?
Protective custody.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, if you're not a gang member, you still pay rent on the cell. You still are obligated to these people whenever they tell you to jump. You still do their laundry when they tell you to do their laundry. You do whatever they tell you to do because they hold all the cards,
Someone going in might think that that the guards would hold all the cards, but that's not quite true, is it?
No.
That's fascinating. You're talking here to Bob Walker. We're talking a little bit more about that. Plus, I got a little bit more friendlier pictures to show that kind of stuff. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. Bob and I will be back right after these. That's a wild story, Bob. Yeah, he has others.
I got others.
Don't know if we'll get to all of them. We'll be right back. Oh, and my thing just died.
Yeah, when I first got
hold on. We're still hot mic. My device just died. Hold on just a moment, folks. We'll be clear in just a second.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
When you build with Morton Buildings, you build something that lasts. And now you can build for less during Building Value Days. If you're dreaming of a personal storage building, horse barn, farm storage, home, office, insulated workshop, or even a commercial facility, take advantage of our discounted pricing on new buildings now through February 28, 2019. So don't delay. Visit mortonbuildings.com for more information.
I'm not sure if the older you get, the
Hey,
shorter that thread gets.
no, we're hot mic.
Okay, all right.
Welcome back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My friend Bob Walker is here, and you had one other prison event you were going to tell me about, a Droopy story. Tell me about Droopy.
Droopy was a Latin king, and
Latin King's a gang.
And he was the he was the cell house chief in the West Cell House.
Cell house chief in the West Cell House.
Right. And
so he was not the
he wasn't the
big
Gino
king.
Cologne was the Almighty.
Yeah.
And so me and Droopy had an issue, and he told me if I ever stepped foot on 2 Gary, he'd kill me. So he lived in 225, and I went back there to the end of the Gary by his cell, and I waved him on down there. And
in the place that he told you if you were going to go,
that
he was going to kill you.
Yes. And I just waved him on down there like this here. And when I opened up the cell door, and his cellie was another Latin king named Roy Maldonado.
Roy Maldonado.
Who was a very, very dangerous individual.
Okay.
He really was.
Yeah.
And when he asked me what was going on, I sort of gave him a heads up what was happening, and he looked at me and he said, "There's nobody dying here today."
He put a stop to it.
Absolutely. So when Droopy got down there, him and his 6 or 7 little guys that was going to do me, Roy stepped out of the cell and said something in Spanish to him, which I didn't know. And all of a sudden, Droopy just walked in the cell and shut the door. And
some people have more respect than others, don't they?
My smart mouth couldn't let it go at that.
Oh, you didn't?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I said,
Bob.
I looked at Droopy and I said, "Droopy, what's the matter with this picture? You're locked up and I'm still alive." Well,
you made a friend for life. Then.
You talk about cold. Roy Maldonado, and I told you a little bit about this guy.
Yeah, you said he was a killer.
Dead cold killer. He turned around and looked at me with them cold black eyes, and he said, "Walker, if I was you, I wouldn't push my luck." I figured it was about time for me to leave, Bruce. And I said, I just excused myself from the crowd, and I'm gone on up there was some other guards. So
that makes sense.
And
you see, now that's the thing people don't realize, that it is. I'm comparing it to being like in a war zone.
It is. It absolutely is. My first year at Menard Correctional Center, I found 29 knives by myself. 29 homemade knives.
What are they making them out of?
Anything you can put a point on. Plastic, wood, metal. As we went through the prison system, we started clearing up a lot of these things. We got the prison back to a prison.
Right.
And you know the trials that happened after that with me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we were trying to keep from happening.
Right.
But it's already happened.
Yeah.
And they've made the Department of Corrections a scarier place now than it ever has been.
Well, that's too bad. You were working on prison reform.
We were working on prison reform.
You were working on prison.
Yeah.
That's the trials that he's talking about.
Yes.
I've got a relative of mine who works in a prison, and his mother watches the show. Tell her he's safe.
He is safe. He is safe as long as he does his job. And that's what I preached over and over and over again. As I started becoming an administrator in the system, my main thing was just do your job. Do your job, and everything's going to work out. You know, people get assaulted. You got some not so good people locked up in there.
Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, now you're back here. You're retired. You're back here.
Retired.
You're still working out with kids, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Now you're in Wayne City?
I am in Wayne City.
Who are you helping out? Who are you working out with over there?
I am currently working with the basketball team, the boys basketball team. I have had a couple of the girls come in. They didn't last very long, but I encourage them to come back anytime. There's my guys right there. That's some of them.
Now, who's going to be the strongest one out of that bunch?
The strongest one out of that bunch is probably either the freshman or the
I don't know which one's the freshman.
Taj, the second guy there on the left.
He's got big calves.
A squatting machine.
Really?
And Dane Horton is my senior, and he's probably upper body. He's probably the strongest one.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. And then
I was just
right there, Noah. Right there beside me on the left side there, Noah, he's going to be a brute too. He's a sophomore. He's just now getting some real good hip strength and lower back strength. So,
what are the kids? What does a 16, 17-year, 18-year-old kid think of you these days? I mean, I knew you 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When you were 30 years old.
Yep.
30 years old. I'm thinking this guy, he clearly can lift and can do all he wants to do. What does a 16-year-old these days think the same thing?
I think respect. I think when they come in and I'm getting my workouts in and they see some of the weight that I'm moving around, it just, they get a little bit more respect about me teaching them something.
Yeah.
And then when you can take them in one summer, and we have new jump programs that we're running these kids through, and when you take them from one summer and you can put 4 to 6 inches on their vertical, then they really believe.
They see it, don't they?
They see it. And that's they always said proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
That's the pudding right there.
How much CrossFit's a big deal? Are you doing much CrossFit or with these kids?
I do a lot of cardio.
You said the cardio.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of the CrossFit training. We do a lot of bands, jumps, chains, ropes, a lot of that.
We're going to see some of these kids on the Titan games? Or
I don't know about that.
How about you? When are you going to go on American Ninja?
I don't think I'm going to make it.
You're not going to go on American Ninja?
I can hold on them little ledges. I don't think I can make it through them first 4 jumps.
I got to tell you.
I got them little short legs, Bruce.
I know it, but I can see you jumping on those little angle.
I'd be
ramps.
in the water. I'd be slapping the water because I'd be all mad I fell off the pad.
Well, that's cool. Well, it's glad to see that you're doing that you're helping out the kids, and their parents are all happy and all that kind of thing, right?
Well,
everybody happy to see you.
And I have a theory. Okay,
get it quick.
I'll get it quick.
30 seconds.
I think that each one of us was put on this earth for a specific purpose. And as I started getting older and started realizing what I was doing for the fun of it was meant for me, a purpose for me.
Yeah.
To help these kids.
There you go.
What I had fun with you guys is a purpose now. It was a purpose then, but it was more fun.
Well, yeah, it was. You had me along.
Absolutely. And I'll love you forever, brother.
Hey, thanks very much for coming on the show. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey today. That's Bob Walker. We might get in. Would you mind coming back sometime? Tell more prison stories or something like that? Because we'll just have to warn the kids or something.
Yeah.
Thanks again. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Have a great day.